Hello everyone and welcome for another Baddest video, another podcast episode where we'll be talking about a lot of things TCG related. Your host for today, hostman Thibaut, and have TV and Clint joining me for today's episode. How are you, gentlemen?
Well, bit tired actually. I'm still pretty fried from the
Yeah,
weekend.
we had a big weekend. We'll talk about it in a second. Clint, how are you?
I'm good. I'm here.
You're here. That's half the
Ready to
battle.
talk. Ready to talk. Well, that is half the battle, but ready to talk about all things TCG related.
Yep. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk SWU. TV and I were at the Melbourne Limited PQ on the weekend, and Clint stayed back home and did a great job commentating the whole thing. So we'll talk about that, our different perspective. We'll talk about the event in itself, our experience with the limited side of things, the store we went to. We've also been playing a lot of Riftbound, so we'll talk about that a little bit because Riftbound had a big tournament, the regional event, regional qualifier in Houston, which finished this morning. So we'll talk about those results a little bit. And coming back to SWU, there has been a lot of PQs over the weekend, so a lot of results. Meta shaping up a little bit, and obviously we can see the meta looks very different, whether it's in North America, Europe, or the rest of the world. So we'll look at that briefly a little bit. Let's kick in with Melbourne first before we look at the rest of the world. So as TV said, we were in Melbourne for the weekend. We drove down Friday morning early, spent the day there. Long day of playing and setting up stream and all that good stuff on Saturday. I think I'll start with Clint because I didn't hear much from you on the weekend. Obviously, you were casting. I was busy playing, setting up, making sure everything goes well on our end. But I didn't get to talk to you much, and I didn't watch the stream too much. I watched the feedback a little bit at the start, and when I saw everything was going well, I'll let you handle the rest. So how was your day, and how did the event look on your end?
It was a very long day.
Yeah.
Very different to watching Premiere.
Yeah.
And commentating on Premiere. The day started off a little rough. We had some technical difficulties during the sealed deck building portion of the day, which I think would have been like one of the most interesting parts. Watching yourself or you and Tivi building your decks from your sealed pool.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we had some unforeseen technical issues on my end with both my computers. So we had to audible to Thibaut streaming live from his device and us just commentating remotely there. But we audibled fine and managed to produce a top tier quality baddest stream, I thought.
I was pretty happy with the quality of the stream. I think you did a good job commentating, but yeah, just as usual, I think we're getting better now. It's looking good.
I went back and watched a bunch of it. I thought it was really good. I think and I know some of the things we talked about initially, like providing commentary on a limited PQ. Like, we're all fairly seasoned constructed players, and so we know what meta does. We know what the meta looks like. We know what decks try and do. We can usually call plays. I know Tim and I, we've had the conversation, like when I've watched plays happen and I'm commentating and I call the play and it happens, it feels good. You can't do that as much in limited because you don't know what's in the deck. You don't know what they've pulled. You can remember certain things. Sometimes, you know what good cards are this set, but it's hard to know exactly what's going on. But I thought it was really good.
There were some difficulties that you take for granted when commentating a Premiere PQ or just event as well. Like I went in there looking for so I could set up from a production point of view the names and the leaders and all that sort of stuff to pop into the overlay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where is this information? And then it clicked like, oh no, everyone submitted paper deck lists. So
yes,
all this information is not,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
is not available to me. So, it was great that I had access to the Melee event as a tournament controller, but it was actually relatively pointless because
yeah, because you can't say, these guys playing Leo.
I don't have any of that information. Look, it was different.
Yeah,
it was interesting. I think we're going to talk about it later about limited as a
competitive format.
Competitive format.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think Premier Constructed is a much more interesting format to commentate. For the exact reasons that Tivi said, as seasoned SWU players now for 2 years, we know the decks, we know the lines, we can kind of predict what's going to be coming next, and not being able to do that, it made it very difficult to fill some dead air sometimes.
Yeah.
So it definitely was a challenge. I was lucky I had Scott, Mr. Inferno 5, helping me for a good part of the day.
Yep.
I
Nice.
had Mr. Hobby Shack Mitch
Yeah.
helping me for a few rounds as well.
That's cool.
So that helped just manage to shoot the shit a little bit and fill some dead air that way as well. I feel like by the time we got to the top 8, we probably we got a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more into it. So, but it was also draft, and we were able to see what people were drafting, so we had a bit more of an idea of what were in people's decks at that stage as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I commend you on doing that the whole day at the level that you did, because it's difficult. I think it's the commentating is a bit more. It doesn't feel as skilled. Like on your end, you might be like, oh, I feel like I'm not calling the plays, and like I'm not using all my knowledge of SWU that I have. Like, you know so much about SWU, and it feels like you can only use such a limited portion of it. Because again, like you said, well, you don't know what they're playing, so you can't really see the meta at the top. You can't. You don't know what deck list they have, so you can't call sideboard. Like it's a bit more difficult.
The one other issue that I had with it, and this was particularly in the earlier rounds as well, all the games were very one-sided.
Yeah.
So it didn't really make for much. I know I sound very negative about it. It's not me being negative. It's just a fact of what it is. It just didn't make for very exciting viewing, unfortunately. And as charismatic as all of us can try to be, there's only so much enthusiasm and energy you can put into watching someone get curb stomped 2 games in a row because someone got a plot out on their leader and just pumped them for 15 damage or whatever. Like,
it's I think it's a great segue into like TV and our view on the day. I guess I'll segue first because that's kind of how I felt my first 2 games. So I was playing. I won't go into too much details into the rounds, and neither will TV. You guys can watch the stream if you guys want to see a bit more play. But I was playing Mon Mothma Red. Obviously, you may have seen a little bit of our pool building. I don't remember when I restarted the stream back. But I kind of did with what I had. I had great little pools in my sealed, but the cards just didn't allow me to play any of the leaders I wanted. Like I had Jabba, I had Dedra. Don't remember who else. I think I had a Sly More, but I ended up with Mon Mothma because the colors kind of worked that way. And I got curb stomped my first 3 games. I went 0-3. My first game was close. My first match was close. And then the other 2, they were against. I think I went Jabba, Yularen. I think just better cards, to be honest. Like just good rares that were usable. My rares weren't really good. Rares that were usable, that would synergize really well with what they were trying to do and what the leader does. And it just felt, like I couldn't do much. Like when I played against the Jabba turn, like my second round, he had 2 Sandcrawlers, or the Shadow Sandcrawlers, is that what they called? Yeah. He even had, then I went to space and he even had the first light. And I was just like, good. Like he had Nut Gunray on turn 2. I was like, I just can't. Like it's mental. Like how, like one card makes such a difference in this format. Like you have a Nut Gunray who's a 3/5 with grit on turn 2 with Jabba. Like it's TV's dying, but it's okay. Like one card makes such a difference in the format. Like you were talking about plot. Like I played against the Jabba at one point where he deployed and put the upgrade that gives you 3 health. Like on Jabba, like
armor of fortune.
Yeah, maybe. He's now he's a 2/11. I'm not killing a 2/11 on 5, so you get stomped.
From an observer's point of view, it really did appear to be like you lived or died by your pool, like your sealed pool and what you pulled.
Yeah,
like I watched some busted builds throughout the day. Like Jack, I think it was Jack from Scoop City.
Yeah.
He had 2 Emergency
He
powers.
did. That's a rare, right?
That's a
Yeah.
rare.
Yep.
He had
That's
two
a rare.
emergency powers in his
I
deck.
played him in round 3.
Yeah. If he pulls that off, you're not stopping it.
No, Ollie had. Was it Ollie that he had a Captain Rex? And at one stage we thought he had two Captain
so.
Rexes in his deck, but no, he managed to recur one from his graveyard somehow. I forget what the card was, but it was a green card that allows you to put a card from your graveyard into your hand. So he played two Captain Rexes in one of his games that he played. It's like there was just some people that just got some busted pulls that they're like, yeah, no wonder why these guys are at the top tables, because you just got these broken cards with this particular leader that you're just gonna steam ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, it's very one card can flip your whole games. I ended up 3-3 underperformance for me, but I finished the day well. I played against Fletcher last, we were both 2-3, and we had a Mon Mothma off. He did play emergency powers off aspect in Mon Mothma as well, so and that's how he won the game. I won 2-1, but the game he won is because he had an 11-11 in space, and I was like, you got it, man.
But you know why you did so poorly, Tebow?
I didn't complain about my deck enough.
You didn't complain about your deck enough at the start.
I should have.
You didn't. You were quite positive about. He was quite positive about his deck sitting across from me.
That's exactly where
like,
you went wrong.
I can do something with that.
Exactly where you went wrong. There was no. My deck is unplayable, like we hear every other week.
Damn it. But TV on the other end, without complaining about his deck build, did really well. How was your day?
Yes, I did. I went technically undefeated in Swiss because I ID'd the last 2 rounds. So was 4-0 moving into the last 2 rounds. I played Jabba Green. I think there is a little bit of my deck on bits of the stream as well that you can see. I experienced a little bit differently. My pulls were good. My pulls didn't match the leader I wanted to play because so it's interesting. I got a lot of good top end in blue, green, heroic.
Yeah.
Like I pulled a Bo-Katan. I pulled that healing official that heals for 2 for every official you had. Like I had some really good layer cards at the top end. I had nothing early. Like I think it was like 2 low bots and 2 other starters that I could have used for heroic. So I was kind of forced to go villainy. Like I had 2 of the 3/3 droids, had the 2 low bots, I had the Treyarch's Acolyte, I had a bunch of other things. Like I think I ended up having like 11 first turn plays in Jabba that were quite solid. Interestingly, in my seal pool, I had 1 3-cost card. So my turn 2 was always quite light. I was either playing another first turn play, ideally, and trying to use the Jabba.
That's what's good about it, right?
Ping damage, so it was kind of okay. Worked most of the times. I didn't actually get many rares or anything that was going to be good
with Jabba.
In villainy.
Yeah.
Like I got a Darth Scion legendary, which is good, but it didn't really. I didn't play it once.
You need him,
and I had it
Jabba
most of the time. Look, my deck was oppressive. I don't think anyone that I played against actually had a good time. I did verse Jack. That was the only game loss.
Yeah.
So I lost the second game. It was actually an interesting game because we both did not get a first turn play, which was shocking for my deck after a mulligan. I got that card lets you search the top 8 for an
official,
an upgrade.
An upgrade.
No, an upgrade, and then draw it. It's a 1-cost blue card.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I got. I literally went the first 8 cards. I got no upgrades,
and you draw one after.
6 of them, no worse. 6 of the top of the 8 cards were first turn plays units. So then my next turn I drew into a low bot. Thank goodness. Yeah. But he did win that one. The third one, he did get his emergency powers off. He created some.
It's nasty, man.
Luckily, Jabba was still up. He had a Dedra unit that was like an 11/11, but I just had Sentinels. That was what kept my deck going each time. Like I drew the 5/5 green 5-cost Sentinel. I drew the 4-cost one that gets Sentinel while it's undamaged.
The 4/5.
I got the blue-black one, the commando
Yeah.
one. I got the one when played and when defeated.
You had everything.
Had all the sentinels that I needed. So I was able to constantly use the Jabba ability and
It's
just
so good.
pushing damage on. It was crazy. I think my favorite game though was round 2 against War Turtle Andrew from Suoz. I was really happy to play against him. The interesting thing was, and I know Clint, you saw one on stream, was so first turn I sit down. I'm playing against Leia Green, and I think I'm pretty favored into this, no matter what he's drawn. Jabba just fucks. He sideboards an entire different deck to a Mon Mothma red.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this, are we? And it was fast. So the Leia, I think he only ended up putting like 6 or 7 damage on my base when he played Leia. He got me to 20 as Mon Mothma, but he just ran out of gas.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I think the event was good. I think the expectations, just looking at your run sheet, initial expectations, I don't think any of us were under any illusions that Sealed is a variance machine.
Yeah.
You get 6 packs, you try and do the best you can.
Yeah.
I got 2 Dedras in my leader pool, which, it's Dedra, so it's fine. But I only got 2 red-black cards, so I could never play Dedra.
Interestingly enough, speaking of Dedra, as good as the leader as she is, we didn't see any of her in the top. It was all Jabba, Leia, and Yularen. And I think there was a slime more, I think. But it was all that. Like, it was really like, okay, you have Jabba in the cards to play with, you got it. You have, Leia, and you have some cards to play with, like, you're going to be fine. Yeah. Expectation. I expected to do better. I wanted to top, but, like, we also knew coming into it, like, it's going to be highly dependent on your pool. You got to do what you can do with what you got. And then you did draft, obviously. Draft, bit more skillful, bit more fun.
Draft's a different beast.
Yeah.
Like I know, it's still part of that limited umbrella, but it is an entirely different skill set.
Yeah.
And yeah, the draft was a lot of fun. It was a little bit rocky at the start because obviously a lot of the people have casually drafted.
Yeah.
But when you draft at a competitive level,
It's different.
there are rules, guidelines. You only get 30 seconds to basically look at the pool, pick your thing, pass it along.
You can't look at your
and
deck.
it's got to really run like a well-oiled machine. The guy, the store owner or part store owner or whoever was working there, kind of kept us going at the end. Once they sort of said, we've got 30 seconds. I think it's better if we all pass at the same time. That way we all start on 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It ended up being like a very well-oiled machine by the end of it. And we got through the draft quite quickly. I will say, the store owner, when she was going through the stuff at the very start, the spreadsheets that she made, that's not stock standard for limited competitive events. She actually created that. And I think that made that whole process go a lot smoother than what we've seen feedback from some of the limited PQs over in the US really early on, that it took ages to like.
It still took a while for us, but I can imagine if you have to write down everything, it's even worse. Granted.
Yeah. Look, we got it all done in about 50 minutes.
Not all of us. Some guy was like 7 minutes later.
It's surprising that FFG haven't supplied.
It's so random.
For that.
So weird. Because whatever
really
she had was fine, but it can be way better.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it was way better than just handwriting everything down.
Which makes no sense.
100% it was.
Actually, the one thing that I did notice was I thought for Sealed, you had to pass your cards to the person opposite you and they had to write the cards down.
I thought so as well. I thought there was a component of that.
So I think there's a little bit of leniency towards that. The main thing that we were all checking each other's packs for was that they were correct packs, that they had the correct amount of cards. They actually did have some across the event where they were not correct packs.
I played against a guy who had a 16 card deck, but no base, no leader, just an extra 2 cards of something. And he's like, it's a shame. He said, I couldn't use it. He said he kept it, but there was gas in it. He said the rare was good, like everything in there was good for his deck, and it's like they just didn't let me use it. Which is crazy because, like, I don't know that I've ever opened a pack that didn't have a leader in the base.
No, I don't think I have either.
So the chances of that happening, Too many, some would say.
Hardly ever.
But draft was fine. From our end, it went pretty fine. TV ended up. You won your top 8 against a very nice gentleman, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about him in a second. And your top 4 against Ollie,
Which I got steamrolled.
Yeah. So TV breaks the curse. Top 8 TV breaks the curse and makes top 4 and takes 25 points home. So that's a successful weekend for you. For me and James, not so much.
To be honest, TV's probably now above me in the SWOZ rankings.
No, because I've got to win one, I think, to get into the
people
points.
that have won.
Oh, do you?
I think.
You've got to win one.
Yeah.
My conversion
you've
rate.
got more points than me now, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my conversion rate is
Pretty good.
second only to Luke's at the moment.
It's way better than
Blake
mine.
is high.
Because he's 100%. I think mine's either 80 or 60%. I can't remember.
Not sure.
I think it's So it's my. I'm pretty happy with that. The draft. The only thing I'll say about my draft experience. One, it was very fun. The only regret, and I know I've talked about it, I'm only going to talk about it this last time, is going yellow. But it's a good strategy. I don't think it's only wrong in hindsight now that now that I know what was going on across the board.
Yeah.
When I'm looking out at 2 Yalarans in people's pools, I'm looking at Jabas and another Dedra. There's no doubt in my mind that green should have been taken so much of. And then all of a sudden, I'm picking all these gas yellow cards and I'm getting good shit. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting there was 4 cards left in this pack and I got handed a Dedra unit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, how? What is going on? And it was way too late for me to pivot back to green. Because I took a couple of green cards at the start and I was like, nah, this isn't going to work.
There's one question that I asked you, I think it was earlier today or yesterday, but I noticed during the draft that there was a Cyril going around. And I was like, oh, so by that stage, I'd already established that you were drafting Dedra Yellow. And I'd noticed that the Cyril had passed you and gone round. I'm like, oh, he hasn't taken Cyril. What was it that you took instead of the Cyril?
Because the sudden ferocity.
Cyril's a pretty good card for you if you're running Dedra.
It is. But
it's excellent.
I wanted the consistency of the second sudden ferocity. And I got that was the second one. I was like, oh, I know it's not making it back around, but that sudden ferocity isn't either. And I think there was one game in my top 8 where I actually had both sudden ferocities out on the field, and I was kind of happy with that. The other at that point as well, I already had 12 first turn plays. So I didn't need that as much as I probably needed a sudden ferocity.
The other thing, just going back, and we've talked about it a few times already, is about you drafting yellow. I don't think drafting yellow was the incorrect choice. Like in hindsight, yes.
Yeah.
But how many times have we talked about yellow is always left on the table?
Yeah.
Honestly, Scotty and I drafted Tuesday at Steel City, and the amount of just no one's on yellow.
Yeah.
And it was 2 weeks before that he did Jabba yellow and steamrolled everybody because we were all fighting over these other colors, and you start seeing some of them. And especially I got like a bunch of space units in yellow. And how many times have we gone to draft where it comes down to who wins in space in this set? Just fucks.
I mean, the last 2 weeks at draft on Monday nights, I've purposely gone, I'm just going to draft yellow. I'm just going to take a leader and draft yellow.
Yep.
And I think I 3-0'd one of them and then 2-1 the other one or something.
Yeah.
But it's just because I got the pick of my choice of yellow cards.
I think it's got to have something a little bit to do with the yellow leaders are not that strong this set, with the exception of Sly Moore, which I think is decent in limited. You've got C3PO, not that great. You've got DJ. You've got Sabe, who can do some things, but I don't think that limited is the format for her to do most of her stuff.
To me, it feels like there's so many events in yellow.
Yeah.
It feels like it's
Bogged down in
event
procedure
heavy.
is disgusting.
That's a fucking card.
Absolutely disgusting.
I got 2. So good. That's what I mean. Like, I was getting so much gas. Shantae, when she was... Sorry, just a tangent really quickly. While we were at our PQ, Shantae went to... we went to this... we went to that store to buy Riftbound stuff from that dude. Shantae picked up. She's been getting these nano block things, and she's just finished her Charizard.
There you go.
Okay.
She's just showing me. The last one she built was a Darth Vader. It took her 18 months. It took her 2 days, but there was 18 months between those 2 days to build it. She just built this in a couple of days.
Nano block ones.
Yeah. She's been sitting down, ADHD, locking into it.
We'll step away from the playing a little bit. TV and I had a really good weekend meeting people as well. A lot of people came to us, approached us, and said, "Hey, we love what you do," and we had some very nice conversation. People from Geelong, I believe, from Country Victoria, who came and talked to us. They all drove down to the PQ and they came and spoke to us. Even took some photos.
Yep.
Which again, TV and I, yeah, we will do it.
Celebrities, hey?
We'll
we
do
get
it.
We get imposter syndrome. Like, like it's privateer in the Suez Discord.
Yeah.
Lovely bloke. I am so glad that I got to play him in the top 8. It was really fun. But he comes over and he goes, I'm going to fanboy for a second. And we're like, we're nobody.
We're nobody.
We're just like you. He's like, can I get a photo of you? I was like, Timo goes, of us? Get in here. Like, we'll get a photo with us. Like,
How many exposed male chests did you sign?
Not enough. Never enough.
Not enough.
Never enough.
No, but it was lovely. I had many people come and spoke to me about the stream setup and saying, oh, it looks really good. Like, you guys make really like good quality content, good streams. It makes it easy for us to keep, just to watch when we don't go to certain tournaments, when we go elsewhere, when we stream Sydney and stuff like that. So it was really lovely, that aspect of the tournament, to talk to people in the community, and people like you were talking about, the gentleman. What did you say his Discord? I forget his name, and I apologize.
privateer.
I know I'm shit with names.
And these
good
people are
day,
really
so-
active in the Geelong community, and they do a great job over there, organizing stuff and running events and keeping SWU alive in Australia. And so we want to thank these people as well, because we do a lot of that here, but we need other people like us and like you guys to do that elsewhere, to keep the game alive and well. So yeah, that was really awesome. And again, if you ever see us at events, stuff like that, come talk shit. Come see us. We're always happy to meet the community. We'll move on and we'll talk a little bit about limited and a limited format as a competitive environment and where that sits. I was, and I will temper my what I'm about to say. I was pretty vocal about the format during the day to TV, and I didn't say much in our competitive team chat and stuff like that. But to me, it didn't feel like it was meant to be competitive. That was my personal take on it. I just, I feel like I wasn't dealt the same cards, but I wasn't dealt the same cards as some of my opponents, and it feels like it shouldn't be that if it's competitive, right? Go ahead.
So my question is, how does that differ in, say, a constructed event where you pair against like your ultimate, like if I'm on CAD and I pair against an Iden Data Vault, which is just a 5% win chance, like in the same vein, I don't have the same cards or the same chance to win that. So how does that differ, do you think?
You have the choice of what you bring. You decide.
Is that the only difference though?
Well, you decide you put a deck together. They decide, okay, this is what I think is best for. Like I have the same. My opponent decided to create this deck with the resources he had, and you have access to everything. You also have access to everything. You both had access to the same resources, and you're like, I think this is the best for this event. I'm taking this.
So my argument is, by the same token, you have the same chance in a sealed event. It's all random. You don't have the choice.
Yeah.
So I think what you're saying is you lack agency in Premier, but you have as much variance odds to get a good deck as your opponent does.
If you want to see it that way, yes. But at the end of the day, once the packs are open, you don't have the same. You don't have access to the same pool of cards, just like
No. I'm not saying you have this. You're saying you have choice, and I'm saying that choice isn't necessarily the deciding factor.
I don't think you have choice in limited.
No, in Premier. You're saying you have choice in Premier because I can choose to bring what I bring and blah 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 blah. What I'm saying is, your opponent just as in Premier, doesn't have a leg up against you in Limited. I don't think. It's all variance.
I think there's more variance though.
There's
So,
100% more variance,
like-
but there
like
is still
your-
variance.
No, you're right. Like you could go to a constructed event, Premier event, and go back to back to back of your worst matchup. And that's because you read the meta incorrectly and you brought deck A when you should have brought deck B. But when you're sitting there opening packs and you just open, a pile of cards that you somehow have to put together, and then the guy next to you's cracked like the good leader, the 2 emergency powers, or the Captain Rex, or whatever, like the good cards, and his pool just manages to go. Like you said yourself, Tivi, like your top end went one way, but the rest of your pool said it pulled you into another direction. But you're just lucky that other direction worked quite well for you.
I mean, if you look at Wade's pool was gas. Dale, wait. It was
Wade, yeah.
Wade. Because that's you watched on stream, right? You, Lauren, Red. I think. Yeah. I walked past and they all had their cards laid down. I was like, wow.
Oh, Wade was just turned sideways, head base.
Jesus.
It's interesting, and
It literally was.
And I'll say this about the match of Wade's that I did watch. I think as well, as good as his deck pool was, I think he's quite lucky that his opponent made quite a lot of missteps playing Jabba. Because there was some decisions that I think were incorrect on that Jabba side where they could have killed Yularen and prevented 11 damage quite easily. So I agree. His pool was gas. I saw his deck. It was a fucking good deck. He went undefeated in Swiss as well as
rightfully so. Like his deck was cracked.
100%. And he's a good he's a solid player. He plays Limited quite a bit. He said himself that he doesn't feel quite as confident in drafting method, but he doesn't have any issues sort of, building what he's got. And it works out. That's the same thing. So the one thing I think my take on it as well a little bit, and it's just something that Clint said, you could read the meta wrong and that can contribute to you getting something, poorly. I don't think it's always about getting the meta wrong either. You can call the meta wrong, but you could take the best meta deck for that particular day and still get every fucked up matchup and not play them well or whatever.
It's happened to all of us.
Exactly. Fuck. I'm thinking personal experience. The first time I ever went and actually played in a PQ, I took power up double green.
Yeah.
Clearly not, trying to be as competitive as I have since then. 5 aggro matchups in a row. Like, it happens. And I don't even think, the thing is, there was a lot of Kiras and Rays there that if I paired any of them, I would have had a much better day into, but it just didn't happen that way. Because I don't think that Canberra PQ was particularly aggro meta. More one or the other. So I don't know.
You just got put down into the lower bracket where all the first round of aggro guys had lost,
and then just hit them again,
and just hit them again and again.
It's fucking brutal. But it happens. And that's why I think that I don't think it's right to call into question the legitimacy of a limited event as a form of high level or competitive play. I understand what you're saying. The variance is much higher in it, but I think as well, even with not great deck, like I look at my deck from Sealed and it was good. I don't by any means think it was the best deck that was out there because I didn't have a lot of top end to close a lot of games. I kind of just had to keep pushing through and just preventing them from doing anything. And I didn't have a lot to do that in the later end. The 2 things that I got were really good at late end, and it's all I got, was that stupid crawler, the worm.
That thing, man. That's
a good fucking card.
Was a menace.
It's a good example of I played green and I didn't have a crawler.
Yeah.
Right. And crawler kicked my butt all fucking day. Like all the Jabbas with crawlers wiped me. Like I played against someone who had 2 and they played them back to back, and I was like, I think it was Fletch. Fletch had 2, I think. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Sorry, T.
No, you're fine. Like I'll close it. Like like TV and I will disagree. I don't think it's a good competitive format. But I'm happy to disagree, to be in disagreement. I just don't think it's good for competitive. I think it's a great casual format. I just think it just didn't feel. Yeah, it just didn't feel like a
Well, we're
another
gonna.
PQ.
I think, and tell me if I'm wrong. I think you separate limited between sealed, and sealed is what you're saying is not a good competitive format as opposed to draft.
Draft is fine. I think draft takes skill as a player. I think you need more skill than limited. And again, not taking anything away from the people who performed well, and Ollie's a great player, and you perform well, you're a great player. I don't think it takes nowhere near as much skill to craft the best deck with the 6 packs that you just opened compared to draft. Draft is hard, sealed is whatever.
Sealed is entirely variance, but it's not. It's more variance than it isn't variance.
So I don't think I don't think it's a great competitive format. Like the limited PQs as they are right now. Clint, you were saying.
So two comments. One, I'd be interested to see a PQ done that was all draft. So you started drafting, you drafted, and whether you played within your pod or
Across
you just
pods,
drafted within your pod, and then it was you played everyone, cool, or whatever. I think that would be very interesting to see. I think it'd be far more interesting to watch as well, because you would have slightly better decks to watch.
Yeah.
From a viewer standpoint, because I've watched a couple of limited PQs now, and they just do not hold your interest. The drafting top 8 was definitely a lot more interesting, especially when we were able to watch who was drafting what as well. And Scott and I were sitting there and we're like, okay, Tivi's drafting Dedra yellow, and then we go around and go, oh, now he's drafting yellow, and like, what does that mean? And all that sort of stuff. It actually made for some interesting conversation. Secondly, I think as a competitive format, like, I personally don't like it, and it's the one thing that I'm not looking forward to going to Galactics next year. Is sealed or limited being part of it. I think I've gotten better as a limited player, but that still doesn't mean that I like or fully enjoy it, and especially as a competitive format. I think I would prefer doing Eternal or something over doing limited.
TV and I.
If they wanted to do 2 different formats at like a competitive event, I think Eternal would be a better option.
We'll make a separate video about this, but TV and I had some conversations in the car on the way back about Eternal and some of the decks that would be fun to play. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, I am excited.
What I will say about that though is Flesh and Blood just had their World Championships, and they had like Classic Constructed as part of it. So they had like 6 rounds of Swiss of Classic Constructed, or 4 rounds. Then 4 rounds of Living Legends, which is all their heroes that have been basically suspended because they won too much. And that's like their Eternal format. And then they switched back for another 4 rounds of Classic Constructed.
Interesting.
After that.
Is there a limited format in Fab?
It's not like as prominent as it is. Like I think some of Fab is designed around a draft format, but I don't think draft is like the biggest part of it. And I think they have had draft as their competitive format at the Worlds previous to that. I'd have to fact check that, but I know they have had it in the past. But moving forward, now they're doing Classic Constructed and Silver Age as their 2 competitive formats,
which we'll probably do a bit of content on with Clint.
So I think with SWU, you got to look at the fact that, and I think all the creators have not been shy about this, is that it is a game that has been designed around draft. Like even the packs themselves facilitate draft. Like you have a leader and a base in every pack.
Absolutely.
I will always say that I think if it was to be two formats, Premier and Draft are the 2 formats that I think reward differing skills.
I will add to what Clint was saying, where maybe it should be all draft from the get-go. That will also help with costs, because then you only pay for your 3 packs. Because we'll talk about our experience with the venue and organization and things like that in a second. But we paid $100 because you have to pay for 6 packs up front, right? So there is that, and there's a lot of that you don't keep if you play draft. Then you only pay for your 3. Right.
Interesting point, actually. Yeah.
So it's a bit more organization because you need a judge for each table. So if you have 40 players, you're gonna have 5 tables of 8. If you have like odd numbers, how do you organize that? So there's this. It comes with some challenges. but it would bring the cost down a little bit, which I think may have been a factor for. Well, I know it's definitely a factor for some players not attending because some players on our team just weren't happy with the price and just decided to not make the trip, which I can totally understand.
$100 in December is not.
It's
nothing.
not kind to anyone, especially not with our the spending that we're doing at the moment.
But also for travelers, like, you know, we also had to pay for an Airbnb and we had to pay to get down there.
Of course.
It all adds up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've not been shy of the fact that even $60 for Premier PQs
it's a
feels
piss
like
take. It's a piss take.
too much.
No.
Like the pricing's just not there. PQ promos, I don't know, is it nice to say they're shit? But they're just shit compared to the ones that are at sectors and regionals.
We understand the cost of organizing events because we've organized events. But
Multiple times.
stores don't have to pay for the venue, right? You pay for staff or whatever, but when you run the store yourself, you don't pay for staff. But that's another discussion.
Yeah.
So we understand there's costs associated with all these things, but I don't know. The pricing sometimes just doesn't add up. But we'll talk a little bit about store, venue experience, registration, organization. All that was pretty smooth. TV bought his ticket the day before, but I bought mine a bit before. They were offering sleeves, I think, in a deck pod if you were purchasing before a certain date. I got some Admiral Akbar sleeves. So that was all. This was fun. Tournament pacing was well done. I think she did a good job. The organizer of so the tournament organizer was also the judge. She did a good job of explaining everything at the start, making everything clear. To me, I think they could have been a bit more strict in terms of end of rounds. Like I said, there was a guy who was like 7 minutes late to hand his deck list. You can't have 40 plus players just waiting for one person because they waited too long to start writing the deck list. And at times, I think there was some games that they were like, "Oh, it's end of round." And you know, when we judge, you're on them. You're like, end of round, like this is your last action. And you sometimes you ask another person, hey, can you check this table for me because I'm checking this other table and we need them done because you can't let them play another 2 rounds because players will try to play extra.
Oh, for sure.
If you let them. So do you feel tone pacing was fine? Judge calls were okay.
Yeah, I think they were good.
Yeah.
I think they were good.
You and I had a couple.
Even I helped out on a couple.
Same. I helped out on a couple of calls as well. Again, it was certified, so it helps when we're around. Space was good. It was a lot of space. Lighting was fine. To be honest, we had plenty of space. They really allowed us to set up anywhere we wanted from a stream point of view. They didn't get in our way. So we everything was fine. Seating was okay. Comfy seats for the most part. It was okay.
I like the ones with the wheels.
The one with the wheels are fun. I don't know why
I actually really hated going from like a wheelchair and feeling kind of comfortable, then all of a sudden feeling restricted and not being able to just slightly move.
Trapped.
It felt awful.
But yeah, look, overall experience was fine again. They gave out they gave out packs in between round 2 and 3 and 5 and 6, maybe something like that.
This is the bit that I will comment on.
Go ahead. You got a minute.
Because I do think everything else, this is the only negative experience that I have.
Mostly, yeah.
Mostly. I hated waiting for a bathroom. That actually killed me a couple of times.
Oh.
Especially because that pizza joint the night before.
I told you.
Yeah, I know.
3 stars.
I'll listen to you next time. I will. I promise.
I
won't. It was a nice pizza at the time, but just my gut... Tack vom.
Anyway, PAX.
The day after. PAX. I am not okay with paying into any event. This was a $100 event. I justified that to myself long ago. Didn't really care. We've run events. We know how much they cost. Blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
I don't like getting Twilight and JTL packs when I'm at a set 6 PQ. I get, these are bonus, blah, blah, blah. I made it to the top 4. I got a free box plus 2 carbo packs. In that carbo pack, I cracked a showcase. So I'm obviously okay with what happened in terms of the pricing that I personally got.
Yeah.
But I also didn't get any Secrets of Power promos. I got a Twilight and a JTL pack of promos. I don't know if, I don't know what's going on in behind the store. I'm not going to entirely blame the store. Because I think that Asmodee needs to do a better job at supplying these events so that stores can give out the good stuff for them. Like if it's just weekly play promos, I don't care. But I don't want to I just opened them and I just gave them to the person across from me.
Same, to be honest.
I don't need that shit or want that shit. And I understand, they're like the free participation shit, but it's not free. I paid $100.
It's tough because when I ask, I say, "Oh, like how come we're getting like JTL?" I think I got Legends of the Force weekly play promo, and I said, "Oh, how come we're getting this and not?"
Oh yeah, I got that too. Sorry, you're right. I got that and the one where Grievous's wheel was in. So I got
Twilight.
That's Twilight.
Twilight and Legends of the Force
Legends
promos.
of the Force promos because I got a foil Ray.
But boosters, we got JTL and Twilight. And I said to the organizer, I said, like, how come we're getting like things from like set 5? Like, can we get like set 6? I mean, current set promos. She was like, oh, like they're extra, the extra price. You don't have to take them if you don't want them. And I was like, it's not really the conversation I was looking for. Like, again, like she doesn't know who we are. It doesn't matter. But we're active members of the community. Like, help me help you.
It's not even that. It's not even. It's got nothing to do with us doing content or anything like that.
Not
if
at all.
I'm paying money to participate in a set 6 PQ, I don't think it's unreasonable to think
at least the weekly promos, man.
A weekly promo from that set is what I can expect to get. And it's not indictment on this particular store. We said this about the other Canberra PQ
Jolt
Games, where we got a participation promo was a fucking
1 pack.
Like, again, I got lucky because I opened a showcase in my one JTL promo. But like,
Luke.
Fourth fucking Luke, who gives a shit? Like, it's just, I just don't like that. And we said that when the tickets first went up and it was like random, pack per win. And I was just, I said that to Andrew and Wade of Suoz. I was like, if this is just a way to get rid of old stock, I'm not going to be surprised when people don't want to travel for the only limited PQ.
Clint?
So I just want to play devil's advocate.
Don't.
And I think I think there's a consideration that maybe Asmodee has offloaded a whole bunch of old stock to them at no charge to give out as well.
Possibly.
But then tell me this.
I'm not saying that this is the case. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe they were left holding the bag with a whole bunch of old stock, and this was a way for them to get rid of it because they can't sell it. And that's a separate conversation again about.
If that's the case, I think it's as simple to say, look, this is what Asmodee sent us as extra pricing.
And you could be right.
And I would have been like, yeah, oh, okay, cool. But don't tell me, oh, that's bonus, so if you don't want it, don't take it. I'm like, okay. So look, that was that. But everything else went well. We've spoken about this long enough. We will go into looking at some of the other tournament results over the weekend. Quinlan Tarkentown is back on the menu, boys.
Is it back? Let's not go too crazy.
It was back for one event.
It was back for one event. So look, a bit of Anakin, a lot of data vaults as we can see here. Anakin won here, Yoda data vault, Kylo data vault, another Yoda data vault. So a lot of data vault there. Still here, continue another Anakin and another Kira. I
but just to intervene there, sorry.
Please do intervene.
I did see a graph earlier today that said that's about over 70%, between 70 and 80% was command.
Okay.
And that was command
green,
as the supporting color.
If you look at the winners here, Han green, Anakin green, green, red, a bit of red. No, only one blue base. That color says right here.
And that better green base.
Yeah. And so a lot of green. Picked a couple of results that we will look at briefly. We're not going to dive too much, but this one was surprising when it got called out. Phasma, green, 30 base, won Bristol, which 83 players in the UK.
That's a lot.
Man.
That's a standout performance.
Boys, look at this top
player
8.
in that deck.
All green bases except for this Tarkentown. Play green or don't bother coming. But look, big shout out and shout out to C Lace and Swoo for winning this with a bit of a fun deck. Obviously,
it's an outlier for sure.
I have been as I did queue a couple of games on Carabas today with my Han 2, and I have versed some of these. So people obviously noticing the list, trying it out. But still, look, congrats, because this is not an easy top 8. There are some real decks in here. This is everything here is straight gas, straight fire. So not an easy top 8 at all.
80 odd people, so he's had to play 7 rounds.
Yeah, 7 rounds Swiss plus top 8 right here.
I watched one of his games.
Potentially some IDs, but like
Yeah, I watched one of
rounds.
his games on Saturday night versus a CAD Data Vault or a CAD Green.
Yep.
Absolutely cooked him.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
it wasn't even close.
I picked this one in Belgium because it was massive. 87 players, man. Like, we're talking about the health of the game, and the game is doing
97.
well, man. Like, I know Australia is what it is, but 97 players in Belgium, man. This is awesome. Obviously, you have people from France probably traveling, people from maybe people from Italy, Switzerland, things like that, because it's close. But Anakin Green, which I think is a massive, massive contender, really, really good deck at the moment, takes it. A lot of Han 2s still, a lot of green, a little bit of blue, some Palp, some Piet. So good stuff there.
Tell you what, given my experience today,
Yep.
and playing some games, I don't think Han and Anakin is going to be sitting at the top for too long. I think it's going to be dethroned very, very quickly.
That'll be interesting. Han, speaking of being dethroned, Han, yellow and green, sitting at the top here in Paris, 62 players, which is a bit light for Paris. Paris is usually like pretty busy. It's usually 100 plus players. A couple of Sabines, one of the new Palps. So that's interesting. That's fun. And
Cool.
a Talzin as well breaks the top 8. Filmovie is a good player.
And well, that IOU Conjure, whatever his name is, he's won multiple PQs before, and he's a Han yellow advocate.
This guy?
So
Oh.
click on his list. Let's have a look at his list quickly. I'd be interested to see what he was running there.
Visual views.
Bodhi.
Oh yeah, zoom in a little.
No.
Falcon, Hauler, Bamboozle, Cunning, Faith in Your Friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say control and scroll wheel, buddy.
I don't
Your
have
friend.
to. I don't have to. I have a
That's
Mac pad.
Faith in Your Friends
right.
is a good card.
Facing your friends
it's-
is a good card, especially in double yellow decks.
Mhm. No, it's a good list,
That's a
man.
good start.
Look, it's a classic list. I don't know what Moody. If you listen, if you're still listening by then, just please put a comment and let me know what you think of this list, because you are the resident Han Yellow expert of the team. So let me know what you think of this list. It seems good. Again, like, it's not because you don't have Digita, it's not a good color combination to go with. Han is still a great
We are,
card.
of course,
I mean,
speaking about
Cunning's still a
Blake
good
Moody,
card.
2-time Destiny
Yeah.
national champion. Of course.
That's
Yep.
exactly it. Speaking of Han, I picked this in so Spain, smaller player count, only 31 players, but I thought this top 8 was interesting. Yeah. Piet,
That's some representation there.
Piet
Okay.
feels lonely at the top. Yeah, Anakin Data Vaults, 3 of them, and 4 Han Greens for the top 4. One of them was a Data Vault. Patrick Redondo and John Redondo. I wonder if they're brothers. They must be. That's funny. Imagine playing your brother.
What's our money on Data Vault getting banned in the next 4 weeks?
It really could be. It really could be. We have Cherry Hill in New Jersey that I picked 76 players because that was won by Yoda Data Vault. And we also have some interesting stuff. We have a Dedra Blue making the top. We were talking about in the last few weeks which one of the new leaders was going to be the most competitive, and most of our money is on Dedra. So it's good to already see her break a top 4 in a 76 player event. That's pretty solid. A bit of Vader
Look at my
Yellow,
deck.
which we
I've got
haven't
a
seen a
build.
lot of. And
Just need a showcase.
man, this Anakin Data Vault is everywhere. It's everywhere, man. I heard
Snooze, you
that.
lose.
Never
So-
driving to Melbourne again.
What I will say about that, while we're talking about it, that post was up for 45 minutes.
I
That's all
can't believe it lasted that
It
long.
was up for 45 minutes. And
I'm
I went,
so glad you got it though. I
went,
really am.
no one else wants this, so I'm going to grab it.
I'm so glad you got it as opposed to anybody else. But can I just also state the audacity of Scott to fucking be like, "Are you going to move it on?" I replied immediately. If you think you're getting ahead of me, you're fucking dreaming.
Speaking of moving on, we'll move on to Grosson's Connecticut. 72 players, which saw Palpatine Colossus. A bit of control in our mid-range lives. Never heard nobody.
Cool.
Yeah, good call.
It's a good call considering that top 8.
I'll tell you what, I think if you look at the meta that we've looked at so far, it's very, very mid-rangey. Like, you're playing a good control deck, you're gonna have a good time. So maybe it's the call for the next few weeks until it readjusts. But Sabre Yellow, again, we talked about new leaders making an impact. Sabre Yellow, cracking the top.
I'm interested to know who the Sabe lost to in the top 4. Like, was it the Palp or the Yoda?
You can have a look right here.
Right here.
Lost to the Palp.
Lost to the Palp.
Oh,
That's
that's
interesting.
taking the Palp, yep. Well,
They're kind of mirrors because like Sabe's making you discard, but Palp's also just drawing.
So yeah, so just on that. So Scott and I played some games this afternoon, and I was on Hantu ECL, and he played this Palp Colossus list.
yep.
This particular one, is that what he got it from?
I'd say it was very, very close to it.
Okay.
Yuck.
We split the games kind of. I think I went one more game in his favor. But then we played Hantu ECL into Yoda Data Vault and just cooked me. It was not even close. Like that Bo-Katan.
Was that that was the last 2 games where I jumped in, right?
Yeah, that Bo-Katan is an absolute menace.
Yeah, if you can't win that by the ideal, you need to win it before the Yoda flip. I think we've
And
said
it's just
there.
it's just interesting that, considering that they were both decks that won PQs over the weekend, and Palp's the only thing that could come in over the top and probably beat Yoda Green.
Yep.
Which it did in the finals of that PQ. If we are heading into this very mid-range meta, which I think we probably will, I thought we probably initially thought it was going to be a very aggressive meta.
Yep.
But it's actually, I'm surprised I'm not seeing aggressive negotiations everywhere, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Maybe not yet.
But the fact that everyone's just playing these mid-range decks, like the most aggro thing we've probably seen is probably Han1 Green. For the most part. I mean, there's a Vader Yellow, but
there's a couple of Hantu ECLs. That's fairly aggressive.
Yeah,
right?
but it's not. I think
it's not as aggressive. I don't think as say like Sabine.
But the problem,
ECL.
the thing is the Han1 Green is more popular at the moment, so you're seeing more of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But speaking of aggressive, we have a Kaz JTL, Kaz Tarkentown here, who won a 69-player PQ in California. Gas Saxon, like ECL, which is an amazing deck, which we haven't seen a lot of in the last cuts that we looked at. Kira, Data Vault, really good deck. Haven't seen a lot of it. Boba Fett Yellow. So speaking of Boba Fett, I thought we would see a ton of Boba Fett Green, and we are like Boba Fett Data Vault, and we haven't seen like all the tournament results that we just looked at for the last 5 minutes. I haven't seen a Boba Fett. He was the most played leader last
Possibly
set.
why controls being allowed to
thrive again
run a bit more rampant. Because like I mean, any Iden hard control player knows when they sit down across from a Boba Data Vault,
you're not having a good time.
It's not a great time for you.
So that's interesting.
The reset.
Another Dedra Blue here. Another like
Love
pilots. It's just, interesting.
Just back on that Boba Data Vault.
Conversation.
Is it's possible that the numbers are still there, but history is just repeating itself. Where it's even though it's got some good cards now, got some new cards, maybe it's still just not that good.
Maybe
like maybe it's still going to be played in. I'm sure there's some data somewhere of how many times it was played this weekend.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just that deck that sits in the middle of the field still.
Potentially.
Maybe it's just not its time to shine right now.
I think he'll come back around. I think people are trying stuff. I think he'll come back around. But Sabe Tarkentown
second as well. That's kind of cool.
That's fun, man. Look, Sabe Tarkentown.
Oh yeah, both.
So 2 new set leaders with a Han Blue Force as well as a Ray Data Vault. So this is actually a fun top 8. A Kylo Tarkentown, which was really, really good before the Force Throw ban. This is a fun top 8. They must have had fun at their events because that looks like a good time.
Very diverse meta there.
Very diverse. So that's it for our SWU meta kind of overview. What do you guys think for Brisbane? What's gonna be your call leading up to Brisbane, Clint? What are you thinking? Have you made a decision? No.
The silence is deafening, sir.
Yeah, I know who I'm dealing with here.
Look, if you asked me,
he's still
24
got till
hours ago-
Wednesday to decide, so he can cram in the next 48 hours after that.
If you asked me before, it was probably Hantu ECL.
Yeah.
If we are heading into a mid-range meta, I'm not too sure if I like that.
Yeah.
I potentially might put some time into playing some Yoda tomorrow.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting.
Some Yoda Data Vault, because that looked disgusting. It did some disgusting things to me
It's
today.
disgusting.
And,
Look, if it was me,
Tivi, if you can bring me some Bo-Katans tomorrow, I'd much appreciate it.
if
I got
it
you.
was if I was playing this weekend, I would be packing Hantu.
If you say
Blue
anything
Force.
other than Hantu Blue, I'm gonna
Hantu Blue
reach
Force.
through the monitor and slap you, because that's what you'd play. Let's be real.
No, that's what
you would
I'm not even like I was. It's because I was looking
Oh,
at
good.
my next. I was looking at my next assets at the same time. I'm in
Okay,
the
that's
future.
fine.
Hantu Blue Force. I've been running it. I win about 75% of my games online against a variety of stuff. I feel good. I have the reps. I have the experience. So I like it. I'm surprised it's not doing better. In all the tournaments that we just looked at, maybe it's not played that much. Again, we know a lot of people like to play the flavor of the month. What is this content creator recommending? What is this person playing? And Hantu Blue was that for a while. And obviously, some people think, oh, well, False Throw is gone, so it's not as good anymore. So now it's Anakin Data Vault.
Remember, it's also first week, right?
100%.
First week of PQs into the next set. So I have Swoo Base up in front of me, and like the largest share of leaders is Anakin from Twilight, which is currently at 98, which is just under 12% of total played. It's followed by Han 1. Han 2 is at 5.1%, 42. It's quite low.
So what I will say is that Wu won that PQ with Yoda Data Vault. So my expectation is that there's going to be a lot of Yoda Data Vault.
Probably a little bit. So we'll see what happens this weekend. Look, you need to pick something because you need to get some reps in.
Look,
You could also just go with raw talent.
before before the weekend, it was either going to be Dedra Tarkentown or Hantu ECL.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's the purchasing of the showcase. I forgive it. I do.
Yeah, that's true.
I've got half of it built on my desk at the moment.
I think there's something there. It's quite.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I also have a Dedra deck built.
Yeah,
You don't have the showcase though.
Well, I technically don't have the showcase yet, but I am picking it up at the PQ in Brisbane this weekend.
I'm about to buy one on TCG Play
Out of
T-Bo and
spite.
send it to your mum's house. We're going to bring it over in July if you keep throwing shade like that.
No, I think I've said all along, leading up to the set, I just want to play a super aggro aggressive negotiations deck, and I think Dedra Tarkentown is that.
Yeah.
However, there was a spicy OB5 Temple of Destruction deck that crossed my desk over the weekend. Which was Kiadamundi.
I'm not talking him for the next week until his PQ is passed.
No, I'm not going to play that. It was very spicy though. At the moment, I'll try out some Yoda tomorrow. I also like that Hantu security complex as well.
I think that's more your style than Yoda.
Yes.
Yoda is a whole different ball game.
I think, if I'm going to be really brutally honest, I don't think you should waste your time with Yoda. I think you should just
don't hold back to. You never have.
No, I never. Why would I start now? No, I'm considerate of your feelings. Fuck you. I don't. I agree. I don't think you should waste time on Yoda. I don't think you'd enjoy playing it. I think you should.
You're gonna miss your Yoda trigger 8 times out of 10.
I like the whole Hantu security complex. It's literally just turned sideways.
It seems gas.
That's you. That's you.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, just throw aggressive negotiation in there. Just why not?
I mean, you can
do it. You can. You absolutely can. You absolutely can. Absolutely.
Anyway, let's move on to Riftbound.
We'll move on to some Riftbound.
Are we on Riftbound? Is that what we're on?
We are on Riftbound. You can see the runner. Because what happened this weekend was in addition to about 1 million summer skirmishes, which is for SWU competitors, you don't know, it's something in between a showdown and a PQ. So there was a lot of them. TVN, unfortunately, we had a couple on our radars, weren't able to make it just because of the time of traveling and stuff like that. Scott went to one, but Clint wasn't able to make it to one either.
Well, I could have, I just couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, but the Riftbound Houston regional happened this weekend with 1,200 players, gentlemen. 1,200 players in Houston.
Pretty good for a regional, a first region.
Not bad.
Big boy event.
That's not bad at all. I have what it looked like for you guys. It's not a bad booth.
Pretty impressive.
Look, so obviously organized, I believe, by Riot. I don't think they gave the organization to somebody else. This looks like obviously official Riot setup. This looks cool, man. This big gate, like this looks cool as. Obviously, bit of by your swag and stuff like that. And they had some of the next set cards that had already been revealed, and potentially some new ones that they were showcasing there on this massive screen. So
Spirit Forged is the name of set 2. The set 1 is Origins for
exactly.
those who aren't following this game.
Exactly. So that happened. We have a snapshot of what the meta looked like on day 1. I couldn't find the same thing for day 2. But this is what the meta looked like on set 1. Now, we are aware that it's set 1, so there's only one set worth of champions available. But nonetheless, 33% of Kaiser after day 1, followed by 15% of Master Yi and 11% of Annie. These will be the only 3 leaders in double digit, with a bunch in single, Timo, Ari, some MF set, a bit of Victor, and so on and so forth. What do we think of this meta spread, gentlemen?
So very, very top towards Kaiser, obviously. 33%, that's quite huge. I don't think it's surprising. So the last big event... Oh, well, there was a 10K in the US, but before that, there was
Orlando,
the Worlds in China.
Correct,
well,
the 30K,
Worlds in China that Kaiser won. I think Kaiser's been pretty much the top dog deck to beat pretty much for the most of this meta.
Yep.
I
think the meta is going to shift a little bit.
It is
after today.
After today. So interesting. 4 Kaisers made it into the top 8.
I'll look at the top 8. I have the top 8 breakdown afterwards, which I'll look at.
Okay. But following conversation, they all got knocked out.
Yes.
Into the finals, which I think is really interesting, because I think if we're talking meta and breakdown, I think a lot of these decks had to tech to beat a Kaiser in some way. Because that's the deck to beat, essentially.
So you were saying 4 Kaisers. There was only 2 Kaisers in the top 8 and 4 Annies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
4
2 Kaiser, 4 Annies, 2 Yis. So look, this a little sad when you look at this top 8. Obviously, some variety, but not a lot either. Annie's super strong. Kaiser's strong, but I think other decks now are taking to beat it, and seem to be able to do so quite well.
If it's any consolation, like this top 8 looks like any sort of competitive top 8. For the most part, like
especially early on early in sets.
Flesh and Blood looks like this. There's like pretty much only 3 decks in the top 8, and they all feast on each other. I'm sure I'm sure in Magic this is the same. There's probably only 2 decks in the top 8 of a Magic event. Like wasn't there just Worlds in Japan?
Yeah.
If SWU had like competitive tier events set 1, I don't think we would see anything much differently either.
A lot of Boba, a lot of Han.
A lot of Boba,
a lot of
Sabine.
And a bit of Palp. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's interesting about this meta spread here, so you see some noticeably underwhelming leaders. Garen is absolutely atrocious. Volibear is whatever. Lee Sin is actually decent. Lux to me is underwhelming.
Volibear's not bad when you do a Dazzling Aurora. It can do certain things that the MF Dazzling Aurora build can't do. I still think that the Misfortune Dazzling Aurora build is the best build for Dazzling Aurora. I know there's a Master Yi version, but as personal preference, I don't think it's as good as Misfortune.
What was happening over the weekend is there was some metal cards to be handed out. Those best of champion. So the best of each champion, so the better ranked Garen of the tournament was going to get a special card, which seems to be going for a pretty penny. You were telling me that the Leona, I believe, Leona got offered 20k, I believe, for their card. That's what you're telling me too, right? Yeah.
I read it in a Discord, whether it's true or not, who knows?
I think what's happened is I think it's Chinese whispers, and it's kind of come round to it's about 2 to 3 grand.
I'd probably take it. You can have my metal Leona.
Yeah, 2 to 3 grand.
So that's why we're seeing. That's why we're seeing some of these. And
I wasn't sure though if they had to make the top 64 in order to
well, we can
qualify for the,
because I have the top 64 here actually.
to qualify for the medal card. I mean, you know how SWU used to do in the sectors if you're regional or whatever it was.
I don't believe so, because hold on, I don't think I can see a Leona in this top 64 here. I can see a Victor, a Volibear.
okay. Yep.
There's no Leona in the top 64.
Oh, there you go. So you just had to be the top of that one.
Yeah, that Volibear you were talking about, ranked 12. That must be outside of like once Swiss was done, so that's pretty good. A lot of Annie Yasuo here. So, and my boy right here, my boy Victor. So big event. You guys watched a little bit of it.
Yep, I watched the semis and the finals.
Quality of the stream. What do you guys think?
Excellent.
Yeah, it's good.
It was good. I think it was really good. Really professional. Super solid. Good production. Good overlays.
Could see what was happening on the table. Unlike
Always like
other
that.
So that's one thing that I will.
world level events that
yeah.
we've watched before.
That's one thing I'll say. It's the mats.
That screenshot you sent of that other, we won't name them.
Not that they fucking.
It was a
watch that
SWU
shit
event.
anyway.
It was a SWU event.
It was a SWU event,
Take
but
it
that
easy.
was. Yep.
That one actually got a lot better. There must have been a
Afterwards.
scene that they must have clicked that shouldn't have been live, I think.
Yeah,
and I
okay.
just managed to clip it at that stage.
Because I think he sent something afterwards where it did look
Yeah.
better. But yes, yeah.
Then what was I gonna say? Yes. So when I was looking at the games, they have really big mats with really big areas for the battlefields, and so they must be playing on
Yes.
some tables that are not like LGS standard tables, right? Because that's one of my big gripe with Riftbound is
Been our gripes, right?
it's the logistics of your mat, and where do you put your cards in your base and the battlefield, and what's in base or what's in the base on a battlefield, and like it's super awkward. Like standard like playing mats, even if you use like a bit of the space of the two players, like it just doesn't work well. Like in those big tournaments when you have big mats and like big areas, and obviously they're playing with big tables, that works well. But in our like local settings, which is where most of the gaming happens, right? It's not the best. I don't know how you feel, but it just doesn't feel smooth.
It's been my pet peeve while playing Riftbound. I do enjoy the game. I think it's been a lot of fun, what I've played so far, but not being able to keep a very clean board state is quite upsetting to me at times. Particularly the space between your runes, your base, and then battlefields.
Yes.
Like there just doesn't
Too
feel
congested.
like there's enough empty space to really delineate the three areas.
And you play MF mostly. You're gonna play a bit of Massey this week, but you play MF, so you don't play a ton of units. I play 75 recruits a game. I need space.
Can confirm.
I play 75 recruits a game. I need space. So it's not the best for some decks, but
and it must be, and I'm gonna have the mental images of the games that we watched in the semi-finals, the finals of this regional qualifier, and I'm going to consider how I lay out my mat moving forward and see if it is just that, because it did look like they had a nice amount of space. One thing I will say, the other thing that bugs me about Riftbound is people not being clear about what they are paying and recycling and rune cost when they play a card. I think, Tibo, you and I talked about this on the weekend.
Yes.
That, like, sometimes they're like, I'm paying and then I'm recycling this, and then they put the card down, and then it's like, hang on.
what did you pay?
Put the fucking card down,
Yes.
then pay for it. We've started doing the thing that Zane told us where, like, we'll tap it and then we'll flip over the 2 that we're going to recycle before we recycle them to show that they've been part of the cost, then show the card. Because the one thing that I missed a couple of times, and I have asked my opponent to go backwards, is just to make sure that they are actually recycling the correct runes when they're paying for those things. I think it's super important because, you know, what's the nicest way to put this? I think the community of Riftbound is a little bit different to what we're used to in SWU. We're used to playing against other middle-aged men.
And nice gentlemen. We're playing...
Riftbound, mixed bag.
I didn't have a great experience last week.
Really, really nice dudes. Some not.
Yeah.
You didn't. What happened to you last week?
I'll say it, to be honest. I'm playing against a Kaiser, a gentleman who wasn't very pleasant to play against anyway. I'm playing Victor. I'm playing against Kaiser. I'm playing pretty well, and he's struggling to keep up with my army of recruits. I'm winning. I take game 1, good. Game 2 kind of goes the same way. I'm applying pressure. But his deck can't handle mine. Like, you have spells that just, like, he wipes my boards, and I just rebuild it. And I'm like, and he just doesn't like it. I'm like, this is our dynamic. This is the deck. Right? But this
is what the deck is supposed to do. You
and
can't
him
get
as well.
when the deck is doing what it's supposed to do.
And him as well. Like, sometimes he does, like, 2 damage, like, 8 times and wipes my entire board. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll just rebuild. And I win. Like, he's like, oh, of course you have this card, this, that. And I say, oh, good game, man. And I go to fist bump him and I say, oh, good game. And he's like, nah, fuck you. And I was like, wow, bro, I'm not like... TV was sitting next to me.
I was sitting next to Tebow when it happened. And look,
I'm not a dick.
No.
I was very nice.
I played against the same person.
Bro, you were playing a Kaiser deck, which is meant to be at the top of the meta.
Yeah.
And...
yeah, I didn't say anything. I said, all right, and started packing up my cards.
So I will admit, I warned Tebow about this particular interaction because I played the same gentleman the week before. And I just stated that I didn't have a pleasant play experience. I don't like sitting across from someone who's just complaining the whole time. If you're just going to complain the whole time, why are you here?
Yeah.
These things are supposed to be fun. Like, no one likes losing. I get it. None of us like losing, but sometimes when we're losing, it's there's nothing we can do about it, and like it doesn't always feel good. But we're not sitting there going, "Of course you can do this. Of course you can do that." I mean, I know I've heard Clint say a bunch of times, "Of course you've got the fucking super laser blaster, Scott."
But he's like to me about entrenched as well.
He usually has it, and I'm fucking sick of him having it as well. So I totally empathize with Clint.
Oh, that's all right. There was some comments made about ECL Wrecker today, so
there always is. But do you know what I mean? Like that's the dynamic of these games. I don't think you should be getting upset at when someone's deck does the thing it's supposed to do. Like I sat down against this person last week with my subpar Dazzling Aurora MF deck. I didn't have all the dead blooms. I didn't have everything.
He does now. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. He does now. He's equipped.
We've fucking got them all now, boys. But like, I was so excited because it was the second time I was playing the deck, and I had the base, the battlefield that gives you, and it gives everyone an extra rune. So first play starts on 3, second play starts on 4, and my first turn was the one of, at the time, Catalyst of Eons that I had in the deck, which is the ramp 2. I had one. It's an uncommon. All I had was 1.
Yeah.
And I had it. And I was just like, that's fucking sick. I'm going from 4 to 6. Next turn, I'm going to 8. My deck's doing the thing.
You're having a good time.
And he's just like, of course you do. Of course you do that. I'm like, yeah.
because that's like Palp hitting ramp on
turn 2.
And then super laser teching, and all of a sudden he's on 8. Like, okay,
it's what the deck is supposed to.
What it does.
It's what the deck is supposed to do. And if my deck doesn't do it, most of the time I lose.
All that to say for our listeners, and you guys know we vocal about this. Don't be a dick. That's just what it comes to. Just don't be a dick. Don't go to your LGS to be a dick. Just be nice.
Yeah.
You lose, it's what it is. You win, it's what it is. Just be a good guy, man. My matchup after this dude guy was dope. We had a great time. It was awesome.
The dude that I was playing against when you were playing against him was also a Kaiser player.
I was jealous.
And I was having the best interaction with this guy. And he rinsed me.
Yeah.
He fucking smashed. But as I was doing things, he was like, oh, just so you know, you don't have to pay the cost of this.
You can do bullet time. This, yeah.
I didn't realize. So I thought when you play bullet time, you've got to recycle how much damage you want to do immediately. And you don't. So when you play bullet time, your opponent then is allowed to react to it, at which point you then decide how many you want to use. So last week I just did it all in and then it got rebuffed and I didn't know that you
Yeah.
couldn't do that. And so like he's showing me these things and that's the kind of interactions you want to see.
Yeah.
Like I literally just said to the guy that Tibo played the week before when I played him, like, oh, you haven't recycled the runes. He's like, I did. And I was like, if you check your runes, the deck, you've got 3 runes in your deck. You haven't recycled because you didn't start on 11 and you've recycled 2. You have to recycle 2, which puts you back down to blah. And he just got up in arms about it. I'm like, look, it's fine. I don't really want to argue. Shantae was on night shift. I had to get home. So I'm just like, take the win.
It's fine.
I'm going to walk away.
We want
It's weeklies. Who the fuck cares? This is just ridiculous. And so I said to Tebow, just be care and just don't be a dick.
But it's the problem is that it's people like that ruin communities.
Yeah.
Like I've heard multiple instances about flesh and blood communities that have been disbanded because of behavior like that.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's not acceptable.
And there's no
Like,
place for that.
We sit down and like I said it to this guy and I'm pretty sure Tebow said like, this is like was one of the first weeklies that we'd attended. Like this was my second. I think it was your second as well, Tebow.
Third maybe, but yeah.
But like we're new to the game. Like we don't have fully optimized decks. We don't have access to all the cards. And like we're sitting down against someone who's playing fucking Kaiser. Like,
which obviously all they care about is winning. Is if they've dropped $1,000 like week 1 for a Kaiser deck or however much it costs.
Yeah.
Like if I'm sitting down against someone and all they can do is shake their head every single time. Oh, of course you do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that. Like
Slam.
I'm not having a good time either. It's like I'd rather just you can have the win if it's going to upset you that much because it's not going to fucking bother me. I'm going to go home and have a good day.
Especially because in Riftbound, and that's one good thing, a good and a bad thing. Nexus nights, so weekly nights, don't reward winning. You get your participation, and it's part of kind of their philosophy. Like you're not allowed to reward players for winning, so you don't get extra packs, you don't get extra promos. So it's really just for practice. Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about a bit of a bigger picture of the state of competitive TCGs right now. I think it's really good timing of having. Obviously, we have a lot of PQs that just happened. We went through them. A lot of summoner skirmishes, which we didn't go through the results because they're irrelevant.
I think we should touch on in terms of state of competitive. I think the thing that is good about skirmishes is there's 2 per set.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't really feel the same way. I know you like it. I don't know.
Very sweaty.
I wonder if it's for the events,
but it's not a big. But it's not a big deal that we've missed the ones for December because we know we can just go to the ones in January.
Yeah.
There's also 50 others in Sydney.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's fine. I'm just trying. I think I'm putting myself in the mindset of if every store had 2 Swoo showdowns, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go more. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I don't know if you will increase attendance or not. Swoo should have the showdowns earlier in the set. That's another discussion. I don't know if stores should have 2. Maybe I'm kind of. It's never here nor there for me that they have 2. I know you like it. To me, it's kind of like it's whatever. If they will
I like
one.
the idea of like 2 events bookending a set.
Yeah.
Like and I think the Swoo's answer should be, you should basically, if there's 16 weeks in a Swoo life cycle for a set, should be 4 weeks starting with pre-releases and drafting and cool limited play to 4 weeks of showdowns to like 6 weeks of PQs. And then the last 2 weeks is just fucking around, playing some Twin Suns, maybe ending out some draft or recouping because we're all fucking exhausted from it. But what we're seeing from Swoo is stores having to book in their showdowns in the midst of PQs and people just not going, and then attendance is low across the board for everything, including PQs. So I don't know. I feel like something's got to change for it to improve.
So obviously one of our talking point was kind of a Swoo versus Riftbound comparison in which game was handling organized play better at the moment. I think Riftbound is probably doing a better job at the moment, just because they kicked off like early. The game just came out like in every other country but China, and they already organized a big regional event. Skirmishes are already up and going. It feels like they have more experience and they're handling things well now. And
we're contextualizing. We're talking about Australia, right?
Well, kind of anywhere like there.
Because I don't think we. I mean, it looks like Swoo over in the US.
That's what I was going to say.
He's doing quite well.
Yeah, I still think.
There was a comment made the other day that SWU appears to be a American and European game.
Yeah, it's super healthy everywhere else. Super healthy.
Yeah.
Super healthy everywhere, but in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah. So we'll see what the regional looks like when it comes down under. It looks like Riftbound is doing a really good job with the organized play. I think it's interesting because they've already organized a big event when it took SWU a little while to get their sector up and going. I think it took them until set 4. Yeah, it wasn't set 3. It wasn't in Twilight. It would have been in set 4 in JTL. Yeah, season 1 was after. So it took them a little while to get sectors going. So Riftbound is a little bit more ahead. Now, we'll see what that looks like. How many of them they're going to have a year compared to SWU. Obviously, they have sectors and regionals. So there's 3 tiers. Obviously,
even at a weekly level, like the OP packs, the Nexus Knights, the alt art runes.
Yeah.
As chase things, as opposed to what you sort of get in SWU. Like, we're never going to stop going to weeklies in SWU. Like, I mean, we take weeks off for sure, but we still want to collect the promos. But I think there's an argument that we have. I don't know. They're not our favorite.
I don't even care about the weekly promos anymore.
No.
That's what I mean.
To be perfectly honest, I don't.
No, and that I don't think that's entirely unreasonable. I probably still only do because it's going to hurt me to not fill out this binder. But now, set 6, this binder is going to be finished. I want to feel excited as I am about opening a rune in Riftbound, as I am about opening a weekly play pack in SWU.
In saying that,
I'm just not.
Runes feels amazing. If you don't get one, you feel awful.
It's very interesting that there's not one in every pack, and I think that's a bad call. I think there should be one in every pack.
I think it'd be good.
Because there's so many different factions. It's like 6, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like 6 different aspects.
And so when you don't open one, you feel like you got robbed.
That's my biggest gripe with the Riftbound packs is you don't get a rune in every pack. And so I can only imagine if I didn't get Proving Grounds, we wouldn't have rune decks.
We wouldn't have been able to play for a while.
And then they've now addressed that by bringing out that rune kit, but that's not coming out for like another 2 months.
Yeah.
It's like $50 and you get...
Are there some aspects you can't get in packs? Like you can only get them in the...
Not all packs have a rune.
Like you open a booster...
You might get a recruit or a sprite.
Yeah.
Right.
And you don't get it.
And you need a lot of runes. So
you pretty much need to buy all 3 starter decks to make sure that you have the runes of all 6 aspects to be able to play whatever deck you wanted after that, which isn't great.
Look, I've only been to 1. I've played 3 games of Riftbound in total. I enjoyed the OP pack. I did crack a rune in my OP pack.
Skill.
But then the other 2 cards were like, they're just regular foil.
With a small tag, they're lame.
It's interesting though because I think the foiling on the Riftbound cards is much better than the basic foiling on SWU cards. Like the basic foil cards on SWU cards. I did it. I used to do my 2 regulars and 1 foil. I've since moved away from that, and I'm going to hyper foils. So.
To me, the foiling of the rares is nice. The foiling of the regulars, to me, it's the same.
The promo ones look a little bit better, I think, though. But I mean, the other thing with the Riftbound promos that aren't runes, all you can see is like the word promo written in cursive around the rarity symbol, and that's a bit shit.
And that's the same thing for the skirmishes. Like you make a top 8 or a top 4 champion, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't say anything.
It's just a circle around. It doesn't even say promo. I don't love the circle. Yeah.
Like what I will say if we're comparing OP packs with OP packs, like Flesh and Blood does the best OP packs. Because you have a chance.
You should try to get some. If you could get like a few.
I'll go next week, and when I get one, I won't open it. I'll save it up. But you have a chance in the Flesh and Blood OP packs to pull what would be the equivalent of a showcase in SWU.
Okay.
So you've got the chance to pull a Marvel.
So the Riftbound ones have that with the GG Easy Teemo.
Yeah.
Which sells for ridiculous prices.
Yeah.
Stupid prices.
But it's only because people
we can't blame SWU for the
bucks.
Yeah, we can't blame SWU for the prices because remember like the Yoda and the Han legends in those they were going for silly money for a little while as well. Now it's Lando, but now the Yodas are like $20.
Yeah, but like in comparison, they're not special. Like
No, it's just
they're printed,
that bleed,
they're
the
printed
color bleed.
Yeah,
I
they're
hate it.
printed exactly the same way as the rest of the cards in the pack. There's no sort of different foiling on them. There's no different artwork on them like that makes them appealing. That you go, oh shit, I just pulled like this 1 out of 200 pack card.
Yeah.
No,
I feel you.
I think again with the OP, I think there's just small changes that could be made.
Yep.
That could increase the player experience in that area.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Very well, gentlemen. We'll wrap it up here. What do we have coming up? We have Brisbane this weekend. So Clint, as well as Scott, James, Mitch, Cam are going, right? Big group, and Rourke will already be there. TV will be staying back and commentating. I will be away at a family retreat to Crescent Head, where the weather, I think, is not great. So not looking forward to it. I was looking forward to playing some golf, playing some tennis, doing some paddleboard. We'll see. Might be compromised a little bit. We will see. What else coming up? We should have a Battle of Hoth video coming out pending an intro that TV has to send me. And then we are...
Why do I have to send it to you, Tebow?
Because I did not have the audio input when you recorded the first time. I have no shame in admitting that.
That's fine. Don't blame me though. I will
didn't
record that.
blame you.
I'll probably record that.
I didn't blame you. For like, if I have to ask you another 5 times, then I will start blaming. Because I'm still waiting on that photo of you for that thumbnail from 2 weeks ago.
You did it fine without the new photo. You're fine.
And we are streaming a skirmish, Riftbound skirmish on the 19th of December that all 3 of us will be playing in, but it should be Rourke and Team V commentating. So that should be fun. And yeah, just a little more content. We are sorting out potentially a new place to record some content. Clint and I were discussing some options. So we'll see what that looks like. But
it's like here, but 5 meters that way.
Yeah.
In another room.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. We're also working on some gameplay videos, but with a bit more work, a bit more production, a bit more quality. Clint and I have been brainstorming a lot in terms of how we can make this work. We have a lot of ideas. We just need time. We just need a bit of trial and error. But we're excited about what's to come towards the end of the year and early next year. Speaking of end of the year, it's almost the 1 year of the channel.
Oh,
yeah, I think it's 2 weeks. And it's our 1 year anniversary.
was it December? Really?
Yeah. We should do something. I don't know what, but we should do something. Maybe give away those Akbar sleeves I got given.
They're hot property.
But thank you everyone for tuning in, gentlemen. One last word.
Like bath water.
My last thing, I just wanted to thank the guys down in Victoria for being so welcoming to Tebow, myself, and James.
And Chance.
It was really cool. Especially a lot of the Sue Oz guys in the Discord, meeting a lot of them for the first time in person, and just some of the other really friendly welcomes we got for visiting down in Victoria. There is plans for me to potentially come down for the next Premier one so we can set up stream again, but there was a date mix-up or something. Yeah. The FFG announced the wrong date, so that's thrown some stuff into a bit of chaos, but we'll see what happens.
Yep. Clint, last word? What are you playing this weekend?
I'm looking forward to Brisbane this weekend. We will see what I end up playing. I will be streaming a lot this week, like I was last PQ. Just getting reps and grinding.
Yep.
Figuring out lines, etc., like that. I have a rough idea of what I'm probably going to play, but it'll be interesting just to see sort of where the meta shakes out over the next few days after the weekend's results.
Yep. We're playing Rebound tomorrow, maybe Fortress on Wednesday, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Remember, as always, good soldier, full orders. Bye.
Deuces.
See ya.